They offer the Venture Travel Pack 26 liter for $329 US, but that's another story. I'm never reviewing that one. Well, Bellroy forced me to go back on my word. Curse you, you cute, tempting owl. I've been using the Venture Travel Pack 26 liter from Bellroy, and in this video, I'll cover the pros, cons, who it's for, why I went back on my word, and how it compares to the normal Venture Ready pack. Here's some stats. The Venture Travel Pack is the premium version of their Venture Ready pack, though this only comes in a 26 liter size, while the Venture Ready comes in a 26 and a 20, which I reviewed. As the name suggests, it's meant for travel, and that's mostly what I used it for, but I also used it as a daily bag, and Bellroy's slim silhouettes tend to carry smaller than the volume that's listed anyways, so it kind of worked everywhere. And this one is a little heavier than the Venture Ready pack. Starting with the exterior, I liked the materials and the hidden carry tote and disliked nothing major, but just a few nitpicks, but overall they made some good improvements over the normal Venture Ready pack. So the material, but mostly the color, is why I went back on my word. At the time I was considering this pack, they only had black, and I just didn't feel like having another black bag. There's just a lot of competition out there. And then they released this deep ocean color for their whole Venture line. And I also have their 6 liter sling in the same color, which I'll review in a separate video. And I'm trying to add some color to my rotation, and Bellroy's color options I think aren't discussed enough in their reviews. The outer is made from 2 materials, the element coated nylon and the uncoated version. The normal Venture Ready pack also kind of had this setup, but this version of the coated portion is just a lot more, I guess, coated or plasticky, waterproof, whatever you want to say. And it's also worth noting that on this deep ocean color, you can see the color difference between the two. The coated section here is just a little darker. And considering this is made for travel, I did like the material improvement here for weather resistance. There's always a risk of peeling or cracking over time, but so far I haven't pushed a bag hard enough for it to do that. The closest I've seen is Patagonia's old black hole material that I physically saw people's crack over time. One big advantage or gimmick of this bag is the hidden tote bag, which was honestly kind of cool. I just didn't love where it was hidden. So it actually stores under here in a zip pocket. And it's like a 10 liter tote that's nothing special. It feels kind of cheap, honestly. But I would have switched it out for a nicer packable tote if not for these 4 anchor points where it's designed to attach to the bag, and that was pretty cool. I did end up using this tote for sure. Maybe half the time I used it for additional capacity, where I shopped for something bulky or I just needed to carry it. And the other half of the time I used it more as a separator, either for dirty clothes or wet shoes, since we are getting into rainy season. Because afterwards I can just throw the tote in the washing machine. But I actually didn't end up keeping it in this hidden pouch here because it actually does eat into the volume of the quick access pocket, which I really didn't want. So I ended up keeping it in this side zipper on the inside. Both of these sides are slightly different than the Venture Ready Pack 26, and I'd say they're both debatably upgrades. The bottle pocket here is now enclosed versus being open on the normal Venture Ready, and it still fits a 32-ounce insulated bottle. And I think that's definitely an improvement for me because it allows me to use the pocket for other things when you don't have a bottle. But it is another zipper, it's another point of failure that debatably doesn't add too much benefit if you're gonna always carry a water bottle. And the other side is also an improvement, I think. It moved the zipper track slightly out, so now it's visible and more on top here, versus on the Venture Ready pack, it was beneath a flap and covered here. Looks-wise, I guess the argument could be made for the hidden zipper looking a little cleaner, but functionally, this one is just so much easier to access. I criticized the pocket on the normal Venture Ready as difficult to access because it was under that flap. So it was a lot nicer to use this, especially because kind of the intended use of this pocket is when the bag is swung over my shoulder and I only had maybe one hand to get into the pocket. And there's also a key leash in a very cool orange color that's set against the deep ocean green. And lastly, on the back panel, mostly the same as the Venture Ready. It's still the same handle that I wish had a little more room to stick my hand in. It's still the same straps that are love or hate. They worked fine for me, and they're not as bad as people say. There's full length, pretty nice padding down here. But Bellroy just has never made super beefy straps. And yes, there are more comfortable packs out there if you like thicker straps. But me personally, coming from Patagonia's black hole packs, I've just gotten used to the thinner straps for the sake of weight saving. There's the magnetic chest strap on the rail and padding on the back panel, which is good. The only change from the Venture Ready pack is that this one now has a vertical luggage pass-through instead of the horizontal one, which I think will people like as an upgrade. Usually I do prefer a vertical pass-through so my water bottle doesn't slip out, but in this case, if the bottle is zipped up fully anyways, I could have had it stay horizontal, doesn't matter. And now jumping to the inside of the pack, I loved the opening style and the improvements over the normal Venture Ready, and still sort of disliked the quick access pocket, but less than before. The quick access has this split design still. It has mesh sleeves on the right and pen slots on the left. And I guess I've kind of eased up my opinion on this split design since using the normal Venture pack. I still think it's limiting because it doesn't fit large items. Like I imagine there would be times where I wanted to put sunblock in here or larger headphones, something where this divider would get in the way. But after using it, it was equally as convenient holding small things. Like I would have my charger on the right and AirPods, chapstick, eye drops on the left. So it was nice to have this division. And again, by taking out that packable tote from the bottom, this area becomes a lot bigger. The main opening style, again, it's probably my favorite of all time. It's like a hybrid top loader. The zippers naturally stop at this curve here to make the pack function like a top loader. I use it like this about 90% of the time. And even with the quick access pocket full and the pocket flipped over, it didn't like pull the zippers all the way down or open. And then of course, when I'm packing, this also opened full travel pack style. And I think this is just really versatile. It gives kind of the fast access and security of a top loader without the negative of just never being able to see to the bottom. Bellroy really improved this top pocket, thank God, because I went from hating it on the original pack to loving this one. The old version had this diagonal zipper that was kind of goofy because like my stuff would just want to fall out on one of the corners. So they changed it to just a straight normal zipper and they added a divider. Most of the time I've seen companies put like a pocket within a pocket to give this type of setup, but I just don't like using too many zippers. So this divider was like really quick and simple to use. It's like the feeling of flipping through a file cabinet or a folder. And moving down, it's the same mesh pocket. Again, love the colors on the bag. And the mesh pocket on the side where the packable tote is. And of course, a padded bottom. That's something I always want to point out because it's never visible on website photos. That's something I'm picky about, and it's something Bellroy does really well. There are companies out there that make very padded bags up here only to leave the bottom unpadded, and I just never understood that. The main area here, it fits about 2 to 4 days worth of clothes with these elastic straps that I never used, but it could be useful for securing down a packing cube. And there's a padded laptop sleeve that goes down to here, again, with that orange divider, into the laptop sleeve that fits a 16-inch laptop. It's entirely preference whether you want the laptop in the main area or in a separated compartment. I much prefer it in the same area so there's less wasted space when I don't carry a laptop. And considering this is pitched as a day pack, travel pack, I think it makes sense to do it this way. Probably because I only carry a laptop about 20% of the time. The rest of the time I use this as like a outdoor pack or a carry-ons, something to take advantage of its lightweight and weather-resistant material. And lastly, we have to talk about price. This thing is $320 US. It is $50 more expensive than the normal Venture Ready pack. And so the question everyone will ask is it worth it? Well, I have a two-part answer. First, is the bag worth it, period? Well, Bellroy is a brand that's already more expensive than the majority of companies out there. You can find, honestly, better built, better warranties, better function, more comfortable bags at lower prices. But the reason I love Bellroy is their willingness to get weird. With the unique designs and the fun colors, part of the reason their prices are higher than normal is because these unique color options are just more expensive to source. That's why 90% of bag companies out there only offer their packs in black or olive green. Like, literally, the reason I got this pack is because of this deep ocean color. And of course, functionally, their bags are also very solid. They'll just never be kind of the top of that function to price value. So deciding if this pack or any of Bellroy's packs is worth it within the entire market, that's up to you. But the second question, is this worth the $50 upgrade over the normal Venture Ready pack? That is an easy yes. It upgrades the material, adds the packable tote, and fixes the goofy pocket layouts that plagued the old version. They also updated the quick access and inside pockets. And strictly for versatility, I'd much prefer this full zip bottle pocket over the normal Venture Ready open style. But if you really, really need to save that $50, the normal Venture Ready pack also comes in this deep ocean colorway. Overall, the Venture Travel Pack encapsulates the best and worst of Bellroy. It is beautifully designed, versatile pack that can function anywhere from the office to the campsite to a 4-day trip. It's lightweight, water-resistant, and has that weird packable tote that's actually kind of useful. But as always with Bellroy, the shoulder straps did work for me, but they won't work for everybody, and the pack's still expensive. Anyways, comment below if you want a response, and subscribe for new videos on Sundays. Thanks.